So this is the day before the actual 2-day festival of Holi, which takes place tomorrow and on Monday. I'd like to seek your blessings so that I'm able to talk a little bit about the significance of Holi and why it is celebrated and how it is celebrated throughout Bharat. So Holi is also called the Festival of Colors. It's a very, very popular festival, and it's also the festival of spring and festival of love. Festival signifies the triumph of good over evil. It originated and is predominantly celebrated in Bharat, but has also spread to other regions of Asia and parts of the Western world through the diaspora of the Indian subcontinent. So it's all the Bharatiyas taking this festival out to the rest of the world. Holi celebrates the arrival of spring, the end of winter, the blossoming of love, and for many, it's a festive day to meet others, play and laugh, forget and forgive, and repair broken relationships. The festival also celebrates the beginning of a good spring harvest season. It lasts for a day, night and day, starting on the evening of Purnima, which is the full moon day, falling in the Hindu calendar month of Falgun, which falls around the middle of March in the Gregorian calendar. The first evening is known as Holika Dahan, which is the burning of the demon. Demon is actually Holika, or Choti Holi, and the following day is the actual Holi, which is Rangwali Holi, or it's also called Dol Purnima, Duleti, Dulandi, Ukelim, Manjal, Kuli, Yashang, Shigmo, and Pagwa in the different Bharatiya languages. So the first day is Holika Dahan. So preparation for that is the day, lots of days before the festival, people start gathering wood and combustible materials for the bonfire in parks, community centers, near temples, or other open spaces. And on top of the pyre is an effigy to signify Holika, who tricked Prahlad into the fire. And inside the homes, people stock up on pigments, which is colors, food, party drinks, and festive seasonal foods such as gujia, matri, malpuas, and other regional delicacies. So for the bonfire, on the eve of Holi, typically at or after sunset, the pyre is lit, signifying Holika Dahan. This ritual symbolizes the victory of good over evil, and people gather around the fire to sing and dance. So the rituals, so Holi celebrations, as I said, start on the night before Holi, the Holika Dahan. And rituals are in front of the bonfire, and the people pray that the eternal evil will be destroyed the way Holika, the sister of the demon, King Hiranyakashipu, whose name is Holika, was killed in the fire. So Holika was Prahlad's evil aunt, Hiranyakashipu's sister. She tricked him into sitting on the pyre with her. So here, as people know, Hiranyakashipu tried lots of ways to kill Prahlad, because Prahlad would say that Vishnu is greater than Hiranyakashipu, and Hiranyakashipu, being a demon, did not like that. So they tried lots of different ways to kill him, and Hiranyakashipu and his soldiers weren't succeeding. So Holika came forward and said, I have got this boon, and maybe I can do the needful. Holika had a boon from Brahma that fire would not burn her. So the reason that the fire actually burnt Holika and not Prahlad was because Holika used this boon to injure Prahlad. So as Holika was burning, she cried out to Brahma saying, your boon is no good. What sort of boon have you given me? And Brahma actually said that I gave you the boon to use it for a good purpose and not for the purpose that you're using. And that is why you are being burnt and not Prahlad. And Prahlad, in fact, was always protected by Nrsimhadev. As you can see from the pictures, Prahlad in meditation of the Lord all the time. So it did not affect him at all.
And it's interesting to note that Prahlad would never even ask for protection. Mm. He would simply be always absorbed in remembering the Supreme Lord. And he wouldn't even be conscious that he is in danger. Mm-hmm. but the Lord would automatically protect him. So this is a very high level of devotion of Prahlad.
So the next day is actually playing with the colors. So in North and Western Bharat, Holi frolic and celebrations begin in the morning after Holika bonfire. Children and young people form groups armed with dry colors, colored solution and water guns, which is pitchkaris, water balloons filled with colored water and other creative means to color their targets. Traditionally, washable, natural plant-derived colors such as turmeric, neem, dak, and kumkum were used, but water-based commercial pigments are increasingly used now. All sorts of colors are used. Everyone in open areas such as streets and parks is game, but inside the homes or at doorways, only dry powder is used to smear each other's face. People throw colors and get their targets completely colored up. It's like a water fight, but with colored water. People take delight in spraying colored water on each other. So by late morning, everyone looks like a canvas of colors. So that is why Holi is given the name Festival of Colors. Groups sing and dance, some playing drums and dholak. So after each stop of fun and play with colors, people offer gujia, matri, and malpuas, and other delicacies. Cold drinks, including drinks made with bhang, are also part of the Holi festivity.
And of course, we enjoy the bhang, especially.
I don't know about you. I haven't even tried that.
Nor have I.
So it's so, as I said before, it's also celebrated as Rangwali Holi or Duleti, a free-for-all festival of colors, where people smear each other with colors and drench each other. And anyone and everyone is fair game. People visit family, friends, and foes come together to throw colored powders on each other, laugh and gossip, and then share holy delicacies, food and drinks. And in the evening, people dress up and visit friends and family. So in the pictures, you can see, people just throwing colors at each other all on the faces. In the Braj region of Bharat, where Krishna grew up, the festival is celebrated until Rang Panchami. So that's the 5th day after Purnima, in commemoration of the divine love of Radha for Krishna. The festivities officially usher in spring, with Holi celebrated as a festival of love. So other religions which you find in Bharat, so the Mughal Indian Emperor Jahangir also celebrated Holi with the ladies of the Zenana. And the festival has traditionally been also observed by non-Hindus such as Jains and the Newar Buddhists in Nepal. And Mughal Bharat, Holi was celebrated with such exuberance that people of all castes could throw color on the emperor. According to Sharma, who's written about this in 2017, there are several paintings of Mughal emperors celebrating Holi. Grand celebrations of Holi were held at the Lal Killa in Delhi, where the festival also known as Eid-e-Gulabi or Ab-i-Pashi. Mahfils were held throughout the walled city of Delhi, with aristocrats and traders alike participating. This, however, changed during the rule of Emperor Aurangzeb. He banned the public celebration of Holi using a farman issue in November 1665. Bahadur Shah Zafar himself wrote a song for the festival, while poets such as Amir Kushara, Ibrahim Rashkan, Nasir Akarbadi, and Majur Lakhnavi relished it in their writings. So as you can see, this festival was also celebrated by the Mughals when they were in Bharat. Sikhs have traditionally celebrated the festival at least through the 19th century, with its historic texts referring to it as Hola. Guru Gobind Singh, the last human guru of the Sikhs, modified Holi with a 3-day Hola Mohola extension festival of martial arts. The extension started the day after the Holi festival in Anandpur Sahib, where Sikh soldiers would train in mock battles, compete in horsemanship, athletics, archery, and military exercises. Holi was observed by Maharaja Ranjit Singh and his Sikh empire that extended across what are now the northern parts of Bharat and Pakistan. According to a report by Tribune India, Sikh court records state that 300 mounds of color were used in 1837 by Ranjit Singh and his officials in Lahore. Ranjit Singh would celebrate Holi with others in the Bilawal Gardens, where decorated tents were set up. In 1837, Sir Henry Fane, who was the commander-in-chief of British Indian Army, joined the Holi celebrations organized by Ranjit Singh. Mural in the Lahore fort was sponsored by Ranjit Singh, and it showed Krishna playing Holi with the gopis. After the death of Ranjit Singh, his Sikh sons and others continued to play Holi every year with colors and lavish festivities. The colonial British officials joined these celebrations as well. So the different regions of Bharat have different names and different ways of celebrating. So in Assam, Holi is also called Pakuwa or Dol in Assamese, and it's celebrated all over Assam. It's locally called Dol Jatra, associated with the Satras of Parpeta, and it's celebrated over 2 days. On the first day, have the burning of clay huts, that are seen in Barpeta and in Lower Assam, which signifies the legends of Holika. On the second day, Holi is celebrated with color powders, and holy songs in chorus devoted to Lord Krishna are also sung in that region. In Bihar and Jharkhand, Holi is known as Paguwa in local Bhojpuri dialect. In this region as well, the legend of Holika is prevalent. On the eve of Fagun Purnima, people light bonfires. They put dried cow dung cakes, wood of the Arad Aredi tree and Holika tree, grains from the fresh harvest, and unwanted wood leaves in the bonfire. At the time of Holika, people assemble near the pyre, and the eldest member of the gathering or a Prohit initiates a lighting, and he then smears others with color as a mark of greeting. Next day, the festival is celebrated with colors and a lot of frolic. And traditionally, people also clean the houses to mark the festival. Holy Milan is also observed in Bihar, where family members and well-wishers visit each other's family, apply colors, abir, on each other's faces and on feet, if elderly. Usually this takes place on the evening of Holy Day after Holi with wet colors, and is played in the morning through to the afternoon. Due to large-scale internal migration issues faced by the people, recently this tradition has slowly begun to transform, and it's common to have Holi Milan on an entirely different day, either before or after the actual day of Holi. Children and youth take extreme delight in the festival. Though the festival usually celebrated with colors, in some places, people also enjoy celebrating Holi with water solutions of mud or clay. Folk songs are sung at high pitch and people dance at the sound of the dolak and the spirit of Holi. Intoxicating bhang, made from cannabis, milk, and spices, is consumed with a variety of mouth-watering delicacies such as pakora and thandai to enhance the mood of the festival. In Goa, well, a lot of them are actually Christians, but it's still prevalent there. Holi is locally called Ukuli in Konkani, and it's celebrated around the Konkani temple called Goshripuram temple. And it's part of the Goan or Konkani spring festival known as Sigmo or Sishirotswa, which lasts for about a month. And the color festival of Holi is part of the longer, more extensive spring festival celebrations, and includes Holika Puja, Dahan, Holika Dahan, Dulwad, or Duli Vandan, Halduni, or offering yellow and saffron color or gulal to the deity at that temple. In Gujarat, Holi is a 2-day festival. On the evening of the first day, people light the bonfire. They offer raw coconut and corn to the fire. And the second day is a festival of the color or duleti, celebrated by sprinkling colored water and applying colors to each other. Dwarka, where it's on the coast, in the city of Gujarat, celebrates Holi at the Dwarkadish temple. where Lord Krishna spent a lot of his time with citywide comedy and music festivities. It falls in, as I said, in the month of Falgun. So Holi marks the agricultural season of the Rabi crop. In Ahmedabad, in Western Bharat, a pot of buttermilk is hung high over the streets, and young boys try to reach it and break it by making human pyramids. And the girls try to stop them by throwing colored water on them to commemorate the pranks of Krishna, and the cowherd boys to steal butter and gopis while trying to stop the girls. The boy who finally manages to break the pot is crowned the Holy King. After the men who are now very colorful go out in large procession to alert people of Krishna's possible appearance to steal butter from their homes. In some places, there are a custom in undivided Hindu families that the woman beats her brother-in-law with a sari rolled up into a rope in a mock rage and tries to drench him with colors. And in turn, the brother-in-law brings sweets to her in the evening. In Jammu and Kashmir, Holi celebrations are much in line with the general definition of Holi celebrations, which are a high-spirited festival to mark the beginning of harvesting of the summer crop and throwing of colored water and powder and singing and dancing. In Karnataka, children collect money and wood in the weeks prior to Holi, and on Kamadhan night, all the wood is put together and lit. The festival is celebrated for 2 days, and then people in northern parts of Karnataka prepare special food on this day. In Sirsi, Karnataka, Holi is celebrated with a unique folk dance called Bedara Vesh, which is performed during the nights beginning 5 days before the actual festival day. The festival is celebrated every alternate year in the town, which attracts a large number of tourists from different parts of Bharat. In Maharashtra, Holi Purnima also celebrated as Simga, and festivities that last 5 to 7 days. So a week before the festival, youngsters go around the community collecting firewood and money. And on the day of Singma, the firewood is heaped into a huge pile in each neighborhood. In the evening, the fire is lit. Every household brings a meal and dessert in honor of the fire god. Puran Poli is the main delicacy, and children shout, Holi Re Holi, Puran Nachi Poli. Simga celebrates the elimination of all evil. The color celebrations here take place on the day of Rang Panchami, 5 days after Simga. During this festival, people are supposed to forget and forgive any rivalries and start new healthy relations with all. Manipuris celebrate Holi for 6 days. Here, the holiday merges with the festival of Yoshang. This year, the festival commences with the burning of a thatched hut of hay and twigs. Young children go from house to house to collect money, locally known as Nakadeng, as gifts on the first 2 days. The youths at night perform group folk dance called Tabal Chongba on the full moon night of Fagun, traditionally accompanied by folk songs and rhythmic beats of the indigenous drum, but nowadays by modern bands and fluorescent lamps. In Krishna temples, devotees sing devotional songs, perform dances, and celebrate with Abir Gulal, wearing traditional white and yellow turbans. On the last day of the festival, large processions are taken out to the main Krishna temple near Impal, where several cultural activities are held. In recent decades, Yaosong, a type of Indian sport, has become common in many places of the valley, where people of all ages come out to participate. A number of sports are somewhat altered for the holiday. Odisha, the land of Jagannath. The people of Odisha celebrate Dola on the day of Holi, where the deities of Jagannath replace the deities of Krishna and Radha. Dola Melana, processions of deities are celebrated in villages and bhog is offered to the deities. Dol Yatra was prevalent even before 1560, much before Holi was started, where the deities of Jagannath, Baldev and Subhadra used to be taken to the Dol Mandapa, the podium in Jagannath temple. People used to offer natural colors known as abir to the deities and apply it on each other's, I think it's feet.
So this is in Puri. They have quite a big festival of these festival of colors. And of course, Vrindavan, we know, Vrindavan is a very a dangerous place.
We'll come to that in a minute.
Go for it. Go for it.
Okay. In Punjab, it's celebrated 8 days preceding Holi, known as Luhatak. And the Sekun states that people start throwing colors many days before Holi. It's preceded by Holi Kadahan, the night before when a fire is lit. So on the day of Holi, people engage in throwing colors on each other. For locals, Holi marks the end of winter. The Punjabi saying Fagun full Lagan. Fagun is the month for fructifying, exemplifies the seasonal aspect of Holi. Trees and plants start blossoming from the day of Basant. This is Basant Panchami, and start bearing fruit by Holi. And during Holi in Punjab, walls and courtyards in rural houses enhanced with drawings and paintings similar to Rangoli in South Bharat and Mandana in Rajasthan and other rural arts in other parts of Bharat. This art is known as Chok Purana in Punjab and is given the shape by the peasant women of the state. In courtyards, this art is drawn using a piece of cloth, and the art includes drawing tree motifs, flowers, ferns, creepers, plants, peacocks, palanquins, geometric patterns, along with vertical, horizontal, oblique lines. These arts add to the festive atmosphere. A folk theatrical performances known as Swang or Notanki take place during Holi, with the latter originating in the Punjab. So someone's written about this and called Self, and he says Holi fairs are held in Punjab, which may go on for many days. And Bosch also writes that, states that in some parts of Punjab, Holi is celebrated with wrestling matches. In Telangana, children celebrate Komuda and collect money, rice, corn, and wood for weeks prior to Holi. And on Komuda night, all the wood is put together and set on fire. They celebrate Holi as it relates to the legend of Kamdev, which is the god of love. And Holi is known by 3 names here: Kama Vilas, Kaman Pandiga, and Kamdahan. So there they celebrated Kamdev more. Okay, now we come to Uttar Pradesh, or Vrindavan and Braj Bhumi. As you can see from this picture, there's lots of gopis in one of the temples there in Mathura, drenched in the color of the Holi. In the Braj region of North Bharat, women have the option to playfully hit men who save themselves with shields. For the day, men are culturally expected to accept whatever women dish out to them. So this ritual is known as Latmar Holi. It's very prevalent in Barsana, actually. So Barsana, a town near Mathura, in the Braj region of Uttar Pradesh, celebrates Latmar Holi in the sprawling compound of the Radharani temple. Thousands gathered to witness the Latmar Holi, when women beat up men with sticks, as those on the sidelines become hysterical, sing holy songs and shout Shri Radhe or Shri Krishna. Holy songs of Braj Mandala sung in pure Braj, the local language. Holi celebrated at Barsana is unique in the sense that here women chase men away with sticks. Males also sing provocative songs in a bid to invite the attention of women. Women then go on the offensive and use long lathis to beat the men who protect themselves with shields. In Mathura, the birthplace of Lord Krishna, and Vrindavan, this day is celebrated with special puja and the traditional custom of worshipping Lord Krishna. Here the festival lasts for 16 days. All over the Braj region, neighboring places like Hathras, Aligarh, and Agra, Holi is celebrated in more or less the same way as in Mathura, Vrindavan, and Barsana. So again, in this Braj region, traditional celebration includes Matki 4, similar to Dahi Handi in Maharashtra and Gujarat during Krishna Janmashtami, both in the memory of Krishna, who is also called Makhan Chor. This is a historic tradition of the Braj region, as well as the western region of Bharat. Earthen pot filled with butter of other milk products hung high by a rope. Groups of boys or men climb on each other's shoulders to form pyramids to reach and break it, while girls and women sing songs and throw colored water on the pyramid to distract them and make the job harder. This ritual sport continues in the Hindu diaspora communities elsewhere in the world as well. Outside Braj in the Kanpur area, Holi lasts 7 days with color. On the last day, a grand fair called the Ganga Mela or Holi Mela is celebrated. This Mela started by the freedom fighters who fought British rule in the First Indian War of Independence in 1857 under the leadership of Nana Sahib. The Mela is held at various ghats along the banks of the river Ganga in Kanpur to celebrate the Hindus and Muslims who together resisted the British forces in the city in 1857. On the eve of Ganga Mela, all government offices, shops, and courts generally remain closed. The Ganga Mela marks the official end of the Festival of Colors of Holi in Kanpur. And in Gorakhpur, in northeast district of Uttar Pradesh, Day of Holi starts with a special puja. This day, called Holi Milan, is considered to be the most colorful day of the year, promoting brotherhood among people. People visit each other and sing holy songs, express their gratitude by applying colored powder, abir. Tripura is known as Pali in the local language. And in Uttarakhand is known as Komoni Holi, includes a musical fair. It takes different forms such as Metki Holi, the Khari Holi, and Mahila Holi. Mehetiki Holi and Khari Holi, people sing songs with a touch of melody, fun, and spiritualism. These songs are essentially based on classical ragas. Mehetiki Holi, also known as Nirvan Ki Holi, begins from the premises of temples where holiyars sing holy songs and people gather to participate, along with playing classical music. The songs are sung in a particular sequence depending on the time of day. For instance, at noon, the songs are based on Pillu, Pimpalasi, and Sarang ragas, while evening songs are based on the ragas such as Kalyan, Sham Kalyan, and Yaman. The Khari Holi is mostly celebrated in rural areas of Kumon. The songs of the Khari Holi are sung by people who are sporting traditional white churidar, pajama, and kurta, dance in groups to the tune of ethnic musical instruments such as dole and hurka. And there also the Holika pyre, known as Chir, is ceremonially built in a ceremony known as Chir Bandhan, 15 days before Dulhendi. The Chir is a bonfire with green paya tree branch in the middle. And the Chir of every village and neighborhood is rigorously guarded as the rival moholas try to playfully steal each other's cheer. And the colors used in Holi are derived from natural sources. Dulendi, known as charadi, is made from flower extracts, ash, and water. And Holi is celebrated with much gusto, much in the same way as all across northern Bharat. And West Bengal is known as Dol Yatra, Dol Purnima, or the Swing Festival. On this festival, the festival is celebrated in dignified manner by placing the deities of Krishna and Radha on a decorated palanquin, which is then taken around the main streets of the city or the village. And on Dol Purnima day in the early morning, students dress up in saffron-colored or pure white clothes and wear garlands of fragrant flowers. They sing and dance to the accompaniment of musical instruments such as the ektara, dubri, and veena. Devotees take turns to swing them while women dance around the swing and sing devotional songs. During these activities, the men keep spraying colored water and colored powder abir at them. In Tamil Nadu, in Holi, it is Panguni Uttiran festival that signifies the blossoming of love and marriage. So again, this is linked to Kamdev. So Rati and Kamdev are worshipped in many parts. Temples celebrate the marriage of Parvati and Parmeshwar, Murugan and Devanai, Kodai and Naldal, and Ranga Manar. Lord Narayan marries Komalavali Nachiyar and gave Kalyan Kola Seva to his bhaktas. Valmiki's Ramayana says it is on this day and star that Sita's marriage with Ram was celebrated. Devotees throng to temples to witness the divine wedding ceremonies. Many engagements and weddings start to finalize during this time. From the Brahman Puran, we learn that this Panguni Uttiran, Old Holy Boat to join the 7 sacred tanks in the Tirupati Tirumala. And I think that's it. Yeah. Lastly, we'll just look at Nepal. Because again, Nepal is a mainly Hindu state. Holi, along with many other Hindu festivals celebrated in Nepal, is a national festival, important major Nepal-wide festival, along with Daishan and Tihar, which is Deepavali. It is celebrated in the Nepali month of Falgun. In the hilly regions, it's celebrated a day early, and it signifies the legends of Krishna. Nevar Buddhists and others worship Saraswati shrine in Vajrogini temples and celebrate the festival with many their Hindu friends. Traditional concerts are held in many cities in Nepal, including Kathmandu, Narayangarh, Pokhara, Itari, Hettura, and Dharan. Now, all broadcast in television with various guests. People walk through the neighborhoods to celebrate Holi by exchanging colors and spraying colored water on one another. Popular activity is the throwing of water balloons at one another, sometimes called Lola. Many people mix bhang in their drinks and food, as is also done during Shivratri. It's believed that the combination of different colors at a festival takes all sorrow away and makes life itself more colorful. So lastly, we look at the colors of Holi. Traditional sources of colors were used. Spring season, during which the weather changes, believed to cause viral fever and cold. So the playful throwing of natural colored powders called gulal has a medicinal significance. And the colors are traditionally made of neem, kumkum, haldi, bilwa, other medicinal herbs suggested by Ayurvedic doctors. Many colors are obtained by mixing the primary colors. And so artisans produce and sell many of the colors from natural sources in dry powder form weeks and months preceding Holi. Some of the traditional natural plant-based sources of colors are orange and red. So the flowers of Palash tree are used, and also called the flame of the forest. They're typically bright red or deep orange. And so the powdered fragrant red sandalwood was also used, dried hibiscus flowers, mother tree, a reddish, and pomegranate also alternate sources and shades of red. They mix lime with turmeric powder, which creates alternate source of the orange powder, as does boiling saffron in water. Green is got from the mehendi plant and also the gulmohar tree. In some areas, the leaves of spring crops and herbs have also been used as a source of the green pigment. For the yellow color, it's haldi, and sometimes this is mixed with the chickpea or ground flour to get the right shade. Other things that are used for yellow is bell fruit, amalthas, and some types of chrysanthemums and marigolds. For the blue color, it's the indigo plant, Indian berries, and this is like grapes and blue hibiscus and jacaranda flowers used for blue. For magenta and purple, beetroot is a traditional source of magenta and purple color. Often these are directly boiled in water to prepare colored water. For the brown, it's dried tea leaves, which offer a source of brown colored water. Certain clays are also used for a source of brown color. And lastly, for the black color, some types of grapes and the amla fruits or charcoal are used for the black colors. So that's everything about Holi. So happy Holi to everyone.
Hare Krishna. Sure. Okay. There's a lot going on there. Anybody, any questions or any comments? Everybody celebrates Holi in a different way. Anybody like to share how they celebrate? Normally we would be throwing colors at each other, and we do that at schools as well, which is amazing. In schools, they would allow us to go and pick a few children and pick a few teachers as well, and we get the children to give the teachers a hard time, and there won't be any detention for the kids. They love it, and the teachers actually used to really enjoy playing the colors as well. Of course, that stopped last year. We couldn't do it. This year we can't do it, but hopefully in the near future it will happen again.
We also use colored down tissue paper in
Yeah.
some schools, which don't allow powder
Yeah.
to throw children.
There's always a way
Sorry,
to
boss?
get around. Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah,
No, good.
Yeah, some of the temples in India, they do flower holy.
Yeah.
Throw flowers.
They're the flowers, yeah, the sign.
That looks amazing.
Mm.
It's safer than other things, water and this pichkari and all that.
Correct. Yeah, I remember one year we were in Vrindavan for Holi, and there they use water that you used was the sewage water, and a lot of the devotees went out on that day into the town. When they came back, I think the day after, they were all down with the salmonella poisoning. So you have to be very careful. I think they've stopped that now. This is going back to about probably 13, 14 years, no more than that, probably 15 years now.
Okay. Anybody else? Yeah. Did you mention about Krishna?
Sorry.
Yeah. Yes, Kamakshi.
Yeah, I was just saying, it's amazing how whole of India does celebrate, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's in a different way, but at least the aim and theme is the same, and it boils down to Krishna's time of doing holy play with the water and all that, and obviously Holika taking Prahlad Maharaj on her lap to get him killed.
Yeah, good over evil. Yeah.
You did very well reading all that. I nearly butted in to say, do you want me to read?
Thank you. Yeah. Go on. You can mention a bit about Krishna actually playing with the gopis.
Yeah, this actually is sanctioned by the Supreme Lord himself, because he used to enjoy playing these leelas of Holi with the gopis. So it's not something that's necessarily just made up, but the Lord himself participated in this pastime. So it shows that it has some spiritual significance. It lightens up one's life, especially in this Kali Yuga material world, which is full of misery. But when we have occasions like Holi, it shows us the spiritual bliss that one can enjoy, even in this material world. So, of course, if we play in the right mood, which is that this is for the enjoyment and the pleasure of Krishna, then we also are participating in spiritual activity, which is very important. The significance of Holi Ka, this festival celebrated after the burning of Holika, is that Prahlad Maharaj, he was very upset. His auntie had died. So he requested his father, can we celebrate her life? He was such a sweet personality. He never saw any wrong that was being done to him, even by his father, who tried to kill him so many different ways. But he would just be thinking, oh, my father's just playing with me. When Holika made him sit on her lap, her lap, he was completely innocent. He did it. He didn't even think that she would have any ulterior motive to kill him. And he was so upset. She died. So we can see the quality of Prahlad was second to none. And that's why Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Gadadhar Pandit, they would discuss these pastimes of Prahlad again and again and again, because his qualities were so great. And we are very fortunate because we can read about his qualities and try to follow in his footsteps, how he was completely absorbed in consciousness of God. So, okay, thank you so much. Anybody, Madhusudan Babu, anything you'd like to add?
Hare Krishna.
Ah.
No, I mean, you've covered it well. It's Holi is such a
Vast.
amazing festival, and over time in Vrindavan, we didn't actually go out, but Sri Kalagaya say, if you go out, you won't come back looking the same, and it's nice, but it just shows how Holika had bad intentions, though, and she was trying to help her brother, we can eliminate this devotee son of yours. But this is a demoniac mentality. They just want to destroy anything that's of Sanatan or Vedic injunctions, destroy Vedic injunctions or Vedic principles, and they fight against that all the time. But ultimately it does prevail, and it's a battle between demigods and demons. It's all we've been seeing in Srimad Bhagavatam, and I was having a discussion about how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came during the time of the Moguls and all that, but some Moguls were good, like Akbar, and some of them appreciated some aspects of the Sanatan principles, but not all. They were just out to destroy, because they are Yavana kind of mentality. So they're trying to destroy, but some of them did take part in the holy festival, like you mentioned, in the talk. But it's nice, that you've covered this festival in a couple of days' time. I know Guru Maharaj used to like the holy festival, very much. Used to like to sort of see us play, if not just put a bit of color on your face. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, wonderful.
Thank you.
Happy holiday. Happy holiday. Coming up, yeah.
So let's,
Thank you.
we can go